Thank you for joining us again at Leaders Want to Know, a leadership development podcast. I'm Monica Moore, Educational Specialist in the Leadership Development Office, and I am joined by my colleague.
Hello, I'm Carrie Najum. I'm also an Educational Specialist in the Office of Leadership Development. Nice to be with you all again today.
Yeah, well, we're really excited because we have two wonderful people from the Integrated Digital Technology Services Department. So we're excited for our conversation. Can you just take a moment to introduce yourselves, please?
Of course. My name is Mel Mollick. I am the newest School Technology Innovation Partner to the team, and I'm here with
Pam Galietta. I am the, second newest School Technology Innovation Partner. Not pictured today is our colleague, Summer Johnson, who really pioneered the role of School Technology Innovation Partner. And so just quickly, what we do is we work with schools to identify innovation goals, and we identify areas where IT can enhance those innovation goals. So 1 foot in schools and 1 foot in our office that we proudly support and work with.
All right. It's going to be a great conversation.
looking forward to it.
All right, well, let's start with the basics. What is Notebook LM?
Okay, so, we're going to be talking today about Notebook LM. We are definitely immersed in the world of AI right now, because when you think about innovation, and the definition of innovation is a change in the status quo that reaches scale, and certainly AI is a perfect example of that right now. So a lot of our work is steeped in AI, and Notebook LM is a great tool to talk about on a podcast because it's extremely easy to explain, it's very user-friendly, and so it is basically an online notebook, a digital notebook. It is within our Google environment and FCPS, so it has all of our data protections. And it's a resource where you can upload documents, links from the web, links to YouTube, documents within your Google Drive, and the Notebook LM will perform AI tasks for you within, and it pulls just from that information. So it's a great tool. It is very easy to get started with, and there are a lot of applications for how you can use it personally, for your own professional use and efficiency, and then operationally as well.
All right, well then let's just jump right in. Sure. How do you get started? If I wanted to create a Notebook LM, what would the steps be that
Absolutely.
I would take?
So the first thing that you're going to do is obviously get started with Google Gemini. And it's important to know that Google Gemini and Notebook LM are accessed from two different links. Okay. So for notebooks, you're going to go to notebooklm.google.com. And setting up a notebook is as easy as pressing plus and saying new notebook. Okay. Your next step is to upload any files that you want that notebook to contain. So let's walk through an example as a school testing coordinator, okay? In their arsenal of documents might be all sorts of things, from testing calendars to testing guidelines, even old presentations from trainings that they have done in years prior. A testing coordinator might upload all of those documents to their notebook. Then they're able to chat with that notebook, just like we do with ChatGPT, or in our case, our protected Google AI product, which is Google Gemini. So in that center chat, they might be able to access any information very quickly. So they could ask things like, when is the testing, what is our testing schedule for October? Or where are the guidelines for what materials need to be taken down from classroom walls prior to testing? And when you engage with that notebook, what it does is actually just reference the information in the sources you uploaded. So this is why it's a closed source notebook. You're not accessing the entire internet when you ask a question of this notebook in the chat. It's just retrieving information from those documents. So think about it like a smart binder.
That's amazing.
It's a good term. I like smart binder. Yes.
Yeah, and so helpful in so many ways. But I'm the type of person, and I think there are leaders might be similar to me out there, that I want to start small before I go big. What's a personal use? How would this help me?
Like with your work?
Individually, yes, at work, but for myself, I'm not ready to go school-wide with this as I'm learning to innovate with Notebook. How could I start and use it for me?
Absolutely.
Yeah, as we mentioned, we're relatively new to this role. So both Mel and I have the experience of being a new, just new in a position in general. So I'm thinking about how a school administrator might use it, being new to a school, just to get to know the school. So when I started this role, Summer Johnson was amazing, and she created a notebook LM for me to learn about a project that we proudly support called Lighthouse Schools. And there's a lot of information in there. They were in year 2 when I first got on board. And so she created and curated these resources for me within a notebook LM. And I was able to quickly identify some talking points if I found myself in a conversation with somebody and I needed to be able to summarize the project. I'm a real, I learned through looking at a timeline. It's always great to get the scale and figure out the timeline. And so there's a feature in Notebook LM that will create a timeline for you and a mind map. And so I also think like that too. So it helped me to kind of identify the buckets of that project. And so it was really a great tool for me to get to know that project specifically. But I think even as a new administrator, you could upload organizational resources, you could upload links to the school website, demographics, and things like that, just to get to know your school and be able to speak proudly of the new school that you're in or you're supporting. And then also thinking about getting a new job, you have to interview when you get a new job, and so it's a great tool for if you're prepping for an interview, because you can and especially I'm thinking specifically for school-based leaders, getting to know, or any leader, preparing for a job interview, creating those talking points and getting to learn about the office or the school that you're applying to. Upload your resume, and it can, you can generate a podcast. It can hype you up before the big moment. Yeah. Yes. So just really, I think that's a great entry point, is just using it to just start getting used to it and using it for personal use. However, I think what we want to focus on, and we'll hopefully get a chance to share, is that there's a lot of operational efficiency that can be used within Notebook LM and some features with being able to share. And so I know we'll get on to the next topic, but hopefully we'll be able to get there, because there's a lot of operational uses for it as well.
I'm already thinking about ways that we can use it in our work.
Yes.
I think that anything to be more efficient. There's just not enough time in the day. So
there's just so much information out there, and having
There
that
is.
safe search seems like, you forget things. It's a quick reminder.
Fast,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Well, I know that, we went through the 5 steps, and this is just a short blurb of time to talk about Notebook LM. But if someone wants more information about this, where would be the best place for them to go?
Well, as school technology innovation partners, we curate 2 websites on Atlas, which is the FCPS intranet.
Yes, the
So-
new Atlas.
As you're getting used to Atlas this year, don't forget, when you are on an Atlas page, you can click the star in the upper right-hand corner to follow that page, so you'll get updates. The 2 pages that we curate are the FCPS AI page and the Lighthouse Schools page. Okay. And we'll provide both of those links, I'm sure, in the description for this episode. But we are highly accessible. We also love to meet with people through Zoom, in person. Just like Pam said, we have 1 foot in schools and we have 1 foot in IT, and we love to help bridge that gap.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And did we want to talk about LM and how we could take it whole school before I know we started small, but for those that are ready, let's go on to the next level and talk about operation, bring it to the school-wide lens.
So the example that I have for you today is one that I implemented at Holmes Middle School last year. I was a school-based technology specialist there, so I'm new to this role. And one of the objectives that I really saw in using AI and implementing AI with our admin and our coach team was just to be able to have the ears on the ground of what's happening in CTs, what's happening on agendas, and what's happening in different meetings. And I don't know if any of our school leaders can identify with this, but it is nearly impossible to be in all the meetings at the same time and to go to every CT every week. So just as a coach admin team, what we did was we took all of the CT docs, those Google Docs, and we put them in one notebook. Wow. Then every time we met as a coach admin team once a week, Our grounding for that day was to open up that notebook and prompt that chat with at least one question. So our language arts and our social studies coach was asking questions like, what common formative assessments does Social Studies 6 have coming up this week? Or what conversations are trending across all teams with data dialogues this week? And so by uploading those documents that are just your schools, they're the closed environment, and asking questions of just those, you can save time in sifting through those, trying to find that information. And one really cool thing that I did as the aspects before that meeting was I would generate a 5-minute podcast before our meeting.
So you're a pro.
You can generate an audio overview of some of your sources or all. So I would generate a 5-minute overview for our admin and our coaches to listen to as we were engaging in that grounding. And it's
awesome.
2 hosts just like this. They're talking naturally back and forth, and they're saying, hey, what's going on in homes this week? We've got Social Studies 6 is doing this, and Language Arts 7 is up to this project. So just in terms of getting, an ear on the ground, being able to replicate yourself in different situations. You're saving time from those administrative tasks. You are more able to go to those meetings or use that time in a way that benefits your team instead of being bogged down in just trying to keep up, right?
Yeah.
And certainly I'm thinking about like with scaling that too, the Notebook LM has a feature where you can share it. And so that is really, it's one of, and things change every day. So by the time this podcast comes out, there might be other tools that are easy to share as well. But right now, Notebook LM is one of the AI tools with Google and Gemini that can be shared. So an admin team could then share that notebook that Mel just described, and they could all use it in a similar way. So then you're talking about operationalizing it. It's actually starting to reach scale because it's now being shared with others in a similar way. And I think what a great way to streamline communication and make sure that you want to make sure that you're addressing staff similarly on similar topics. And so that's a great feature.
I may have missed this, and I'm so sorry if I did. When your team created this Notebook LM, did all of the CTs have to do work in a certain place for that to be loaded into your notebook?
Yes. So they are running Google Docs of meeting notes. So
Okay.
any running agenda, any meeting note doc that you kind of continuously add to, those are populated in that notebook, and they retrieve the information from there.
So it's just like keeps getting updated into the notebook.
Yep. So as long as teams are, taking notes on their common meeting agenda templates, which was a core norm that we had at Holmes Middle School, as long as they're keeping notes there, we have access to those, and that's what we
Thank
did.
you for clarifying that for
That's a
me.
great question.
All right. Well, Pam, Mel, thanks for being with us here today. Thank you for not only introducing Notebook LM, but bringing that use to light. So now we have all a mental image of how we can recreate it in our work, and
We're gonna
hopefully the
create it.
listeners know how they could get this moving in their schools. But hopefully you'll be back another time.
Yes.
Is there anything you want to add before we sign off with our listeners?
Not really. I know Mel mentioned this earlier, just to reiterate, we do, part of our position is to really understand and learn what's happening in schools. So we really welcome any opportunities to collaborate with schools and just to keep folks abreast of any changes and updates. So definitely check out the Atlas pages that Mel mentioned. We will be purposeful about posting current and helpful information there. And we just hope that you continue to reach out. I look forward to hopefully collaborating with you all. And definitely proud to sit here with Mel and have a great day with you all and conversation with you all.
Thanks for being here with us.
Yep.